sisters and brothers in the Lord. Once again, that has struck our seminary community. And all of us are deeply saddened by the loss of Father Tifft. Chad and Paul, to you and all your wonderful family, our entire diocese offers our deepest and most prayerful sympathy on the loss of this exemplary priest, who was your brother, your brother-in-law, your uncle, and your great-uncle. We who are privileged enough to be his friends can appreciate your sorrow, because we too mourn the death of a precious priest whose mere presence enriched our lives. Tom Tifft was a special priest. Those of us who are part of the Center for Pastoral Leadership will always have little memories that will keep his presence vibrant. His characteristic X mark in the dining room indicating being there for lunch or dinner, his customary bowl of oatmeal in the morning, his thank you when you poured his coffee, his amazing memory that would bring to light not only figures of history, but batting averages of baseball heroes long going, his ready smile, his warm, how are you today? His verbal jousting with Kenny, his willingness to use his priestly ministry whenever and wherever he was called, his prayerful presence before the Eucharist in the early hours of every morning, his total dedication to our priestly formation program here, his daily critique of the sport page of the Plain Dealer, his gentle tolerance of the idiosyncrasy of those of us who live here at the CPL. For these and for all that was part of Tom Tifft, we give thanks today as we prepare to commit to the Lord. The news of Tom's stroke spread very quickly this past Friday, and it was so hard to believe. The Tuesday before, he was at one with some of us at the campus in East Lake. A few hours before his stroke, he thoroughly enjoyed the Indians' 3-1 victory at Progressive Field. As all you know, Tom loved baseball. He almost had a love-hate relationship with the Indians. More than any sports team, praising them when they played well, being upset with them when they played poorly. His realistic analysis of all sports teams in Cleveland made him seem like the best of us. He always felt that no lead in any game was safe enough for our guys. Tom recognized inherent weaknesses and blindness and allowed no excuses for them. But always he was a loyal and committed fan. I couldn't help but be moved by the entrance of the office of the readings this past Monday. The first one read, Lord, let the light of your countenance shine on your servant. Early that morning, it did shine on Tom Tifft. Another antiphon read, when will I come to the end of my pilgrimage and enter the presence of God? The Lord said to Tom, today, July 9, 2012, at 1:53 a.m. The theme of morning prayer that day was a longing for the Lord's presence, with a special petition for patience, kindness, and gentleness. How fitting. Death loses much of its sting as we look upon the life of this marvelous servant of God. Tom was a priest here on earth for 43 years, 2 months and 9 days, and was part of the seminary community for 39 years, serving as a unique history professor who made a dull subject enjoyable. He served as a registrar, a vice rector, the academic dean, and since June 1st of 2001, the rector. Because his life was so special, and so was his death. Some years ago, Tom was a weekend assistant at St. Gabriel's Parish. just loved Tom, and he loved her. And I regaled him with Catherine's stories. When she was about 9 years old, this was Tom's favorite story. We were at my brother's for Thanksgiving dinner, and as before we sat down, my brother said, "Now everybody try to think of something with which the Lord blessed you this past year." Catherine had been in the local production Annie. She was 9 years old. When it came to her turn to pray, she closed her eyes, folded her hands, and she said, "Lord, bless all the people, and I thank them for helping them in my acting career." She is now an actress. On Saturday, I called her and told her she lives in Los Angeles now, 26-year-old, and told her of Tom Tift's stroke and asked her prayers. And on Monday, I was in touch with her again. She told me that her mother had informed her that father had died. Catherine promised to keep him in prayer, and she said that she had very fond memories of this, quote, kind, funny, and joyful priest who was always so special and so sweet. And she went on to say that she was so glad to have known him, and that now all of us should delight in the joy he brought to us. Even with heavy hearts, we want to delight in the joys that he brought to us. Our faith puts life and death of Father Tifft in perspective. On this past Monday, we know life for this Christ-like priest was changed, not ended. He left his earthly dwelling to be in the presence of the Lord he loved so much and served so well. Our lives are better because of him. So Tom, today all of us thank you. You say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." You now rest in